Good evening. Welcome to the 2025 Campaign for Jewish Buffalo Kickoff event. I am Marjorie Bryan, President of Buffalo Jewish Federation.
Yes. And I'm Mark Brown, Vice President and Chair of Development of the Buffalo Jewish Federation. Tonight, we are gathering to honor two incredible leaders in our community. Marni Marciano, who will be receiving the Ruth and Milton Kahn Emerging Leadership Award, and Hadar Borden, recipient of the Holland Cohn Community Impact Award.
We're also thrilled to present three unique impact stories that showcase the work of the Buffalo Jewish Federation. And of course, we can't wait to hear from our new CEO, Miriam Abramovich, about her vision for the future.
We'd also like to welcome and acknowledge a few of our guests here this evening. New York State Assembly Member Karen McMahon of District 146. New York State Assembly Member Jonathan Rivera of District 149. Amherst Town Board Council Member Jackie Berger. The Honorable Brenda Friedman. The Honorable Barbara Nucciarino. The Honorable Lisa Block-Rodwin. The Honorable Penny Wolfgang. The Honorable Rose Bailey. And our newest Honorable Peter Allen Wyman.
We'd also like to recognize Risa Kulik, thank you, this year's Lion of Judah, Kipnis Wilson Friedland Award winner. Say that 3 times fast. She'll be honored at the International Lion of Judah Conference in January. Now, without further ado, please join me in a warm Buffalo welcome to Cantor Susan Lewis Friedman from Temple Beth Zion, who along with her family officially became a Buffalonian in June. Yay.
Erev Tov. It is my great honor to offer this prayer of thanksgiving and strength to all of us here tonight. Dear God of our fathers and mothers, we thank you for bringing us here tonight as one sacred community. We thank you for giving each and every one of us this gift of togetherness, of Kahila Kadosha, as you created us in your divine image, and you formed all of us through your covenant with our forefathers and mothers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. We thank you for inspiring the righteous and talented people in this room to follow the urges shown to them through that still small voice, that cold mama daka that you've placed in all of us, and that you've strengthened them and helped them to serve as emissaries of Jewish Buffalo and to inspire love for all of us and a connection to Jewish culture and Israel to every soul that they touch. Dear God, we pray that you will strengthen this wonderful organization and our brand new CEO, Miriam, as she takes her place as its new leader, just as you strengthened Joshua when he became the new leader of the Jewish people in this week's Torah portion, Nitzavim Vayelech. Dear God, we are so grateful to Rob, who, like Moses, strengthened and blessed his successor. He gave her the tools to continue his great leadership, and we are so grateful for Rob's unending ometz lev, his courage of the heart, as he led us through one of the most difficult times in many of our lifetimes as we continue to mourn the ongoing tragedy of October 7th and its continuing toll. Dear God, we pray that you will guard us with your compassion. Allow us, dear God, to feel your love, always, even in the midst of the most challenging of moments. Allow us, dear God, to have faith. We pray that you will help us to always continue to love each other, to always see the good in one another, to to continue to work harmoniously, to always listen to what God's voice tells us to do, and to always be led by that inspiration and to live in the hope. May we, as the Buffalo Jewish Federation, continue to lay the seeds of partnership, connection, and love into this beautiful garden and tapestry that we have, that we are so blessed to be a part of, that we call our Jewish community. Above all, we pray that you will allow us to continue to be a beacon of hope and light for all. Amen.
It's already catching on.
Moses here, everybody. Thank you, Cantor Susie, for making sure everyone knew my name. But no, really, for beautiful words to start us off this evening. Well, Margie, this is certainly a unique moment for Federation and Jewish Buffalo, passing the baton, if you will, formally from me to Miriam.
It certainly is. I'm very proud of our organization for creating such a seamless transition, and I'm thrilled that you are sticking around as our senior advisor, dear Moses.
Thank you. It's sort of a preliminary step towards the bigger leap to full retirement. While we're not going to literally pass a baton here on stage, though I thought that really was going to be a great idea, but it was nixed. That's how the organization works. I'm no longer in charge, so, can't do the baton thing, Moses, they said. But really this idea of passing the baton is really powerful, and I really was thinking this summer during the Olympic Games, when you watch the relay, it's really not the speed of the runners that is significant to win the race. It's really that exchange of the baton. It has to be precise. It has to be perfect in order for the runners to advance and to win. It's practice and it's about chemistry.
That's a great metaphor for our exchange between you and Miriam. And before we hear from Miriam to share her vision for the future, I know that you have put together a special kit with items that you feel will enable our new CEO to flourish and, well, survive in her new role.
Yes, I put a great deal of thought into curating a survival kit, a one-of-a-kind, unique kit that Miriam, I know, will appreciate in her new role. So with that, Miriam, come and join us on the stage.
Hi,
Here, go in the middle.
in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. So I will tell you, I just have to thank Sam Abramovich for assisting me in creating this one-of-a-time kit. I just want you to know, anyway, it's fun. All right, so the first thing you need to remember is that this work you're about to undertake is a marathon and not a sprint. So we've got new sneakers for you, and these are your favorite. These are Miriam's favorite shoes, and the ones that she has now are in terrible disrepair.
Are you telling everyone that?
I am. So she doesn't take care of them.
That's why she looks so tall.
Yeah,
I never knew.
So the first thing is you need a new pair of running shoes. Okay. Marathon, not a sprint. And then, because it's really important to stay hydrated, I won't even open this, but this is a beautiful water bottle. It's dishwasher safe, and that's important to Miriam, I've been told. So this is a dishwasher safe new water bottle, because you have
my favorite brand.
Your favorite brand, and you have
see.
to be hydrated. So there's that one. And then, so
A lot of thought. Remember, a lot of thought.
you need literature. So by your bedside, I know you probably read everything online, but you need some literature. So the first thing, this is called Liquid Art Mixology, and it's this book about how to make mixed drinks. Sam, where's Sam? Sam, this is for you, okay? This one's called 365 Days of Calm. Like every day there's like something to help you be calm.
Thank you.
Because it's a hard job, Because you're the CEO of a Jewish organization, practical Kabbalah. Very important to keep by your bedside. So that's another book. And then this was the one that both my wife Sharon and I feel is the most important. All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. It was a very popular book years and years ago. So those are some books to keep by your bedside. And because you're over 40,
all the secrets are coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need readers, but we bought you some really cool ones. So here's like
Don't put them away.
There's
I
like
need them.
10 of them in here, but there are really cool, I think they're Oprah brand readers. So, because being stylish is important in your
Very.
new role. So here's some readers. And then I saved the two most important things. You need chocolate. You cannot do this job without chocolate. These are Miriam's favorite chocolates from Althea's. We should probably make them a corporate sponsor because I just gave them a shout out. But they're these little Thin Mints. They're so little, they're like no calories. You pop one in your mouth at night, a couple, whatever. So
I can eat 20.
you can eat 20. And then, because everyone knows that life without bourbon is not life, right? L'chaim, everybody. So this is a bottle of very high-end bourbon. You would not find this at the bar this evening. So it's Bardstown bourbon, which I believe is your favorite brand, and you can share it with your husband if you want, but if not, it's all yours, baby. Those are all the survivors.
This is amazing. Oh, she's taking the bourbon. Okay, she's taking the bourbon. And I don't think I need my readers, but I know they're there if I need them. Thank you, Margie and Rob. This kit is amazing. I kind of knew something like this was coming, but I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be. And clearly, this kit is one of a kind. And I think for a couple of reasons. One, because it was crafted with such, care and love, but also because no kid grows up dreaming about becoming a Jewish professional. That just doesn't happen. I thought about this. There's no Little People Rabbi's Collection. There is no Fisher-Price JCC Camp playset. And there is definitely not Barbie is a Federation CEO. But, yeah. But I think that's what makes this profession really special. You can get a master's degree for sure, but it's also not the kind of job where you can rely on instruction manuals, clear guidelines, or guardrails. Instead, you learn these kinds of jobs through lived experience, and particularly from all of the rich learnings that are passed down by treasured mentors. Sounds familiar. Ancient Jewish wisdom teaches us that if you find yourself a teacher, you will acquire for yourself a friend. And I've been very fortunate to do just that. So they're back there, but I want to share my deep thanks to my mentors and my really dear friends, Margie and Rob. Thank you. Look at us. This room is filled with exceptional people. In my last 11 years of the Federation, and I realized this during our cocktail hour and a half, that I've actually had the opportunity to meet and get to know and learn with and work with and travel with so many of you. And to those I haven't had the chance to meet yet, please know that I extend my hand to you in friendship. I've lived and worked in a lot of different cities. Some of you have heard me go through this role before. I've lived in New York City, in Boston, in Baltimore, and in Pittsburgh. And because I've been a Jewish professional in so many communities, I feel as if I have it on good authority to say that Buffalo really is exceptional, right? For me and my family, I hope you had a chance to meet my husband and my kids, Buffalo has been a place of surprising abundance. But, in thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have been so surprised, because Buffalo has always been a place of ingenuity. Our people built the Erie Canal, we built steam-powered grain elevators, we invented the pacemaker. I learned, actually, we apparently invented air conditioning. Who would have thought? And of course, our significant culinary contribution to North America, the wing. We're resilient. We've weathered the greatest of storms, both figurative and literal. Buffalonians are tough, but we're still kind of nimble. We're clever. We are very loyal. I learned that very early on, and hopelessly positive, especially about football. When I was sort of thinking about all of this, what I realized is what's interesting about Buffalo, the qualities that sort of make Buffalo Buffalo, they're really two things. They're rooted in collaborative work and in the joy in being part of a community. Community, collective responsibility, these are also the central building blocks of Jewish life. So while I was preparing, I remembered this quote from Golda Meir. She once said, "I never did anything alone. Whatever this country accomplished was accomplished collectively." In the last decade in which I've worked and lived here and led in Buffalo, we have all accomplished a lot together. We engaged in a slow and thoughtful effort to institutionally right-size Jewish Buffalo. We reduced the number of agencies, we've consolidated back-end services, and we recruited some pretty exceptional professionals to town. Welcome, Cantor Susie. And we've also helped Jewish people and families flourish. We've ensured places for belonging and sustained support for core components of Jewish communal life. And at the Buffalo Jewish Federation in particular, we established Secure Jewish Buffalo. We answered the call to strengthen civic partnerships. We launched immersive travel experiences. We've been all over the world. Join us in Morocco this spring if you're interested. We also prioritized learning and engagement. We launched Life and Legacy in partnership with the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies, and we negotiated the sale of Federation housing, both critical strategic decisions that will secure the fiscal sustainability of the Federation and our community far into the future. This and all of our other incredible work put Buffalo on the national Jewish map. You might not know this, but for years, we have been repeatedly recognized by Jewish federations of North America as a model for federation communities of our size. We've been celebrated for our innovative and our courageous work. And then October 7th, 2023, the day that forever altered reality for Jewish people around the globe. We were, and I would argue that we are, to a significant extent, devastated. At the Federation, our work was reprioritized, and we're just now beginning to understand some of the long-range implications for Jewish peoplehood and for the work of the Federation movement. In the 11 months since October 7th, I want to tell you a little bit about what the Federation's done. We have significantly enhanced our security infrastructure because nothing is more essential than ensuring Jews are and feel safe. So we've increased visible security, we've offered additional support to partner agencies and synagogues, and we further strengthened our partnerships with law enforcement. They were good to begin with, but we're working even more closely together on preventative planning. And I just want to add a note here. Security for the Jewish community is so much more than what you see. It's not just off-duty law enforcement in front of buildings. There's an entire network of connections and communication that happens behind the scenes that's critical to ensuring all of our institutions are safe. We also sent 2 buses to march for Israel in Washington, D.C. We nurtured old and built new partnerships with superintendents and leadership from 12 school districts. We worked closely on both incident response, which was critical, but also we pushed curricular and professional development resources into Buffalo area K-12 schools. And thanks to a generous donor, we enabled 4 educators from 4 different school districts to travel with us to Poland and Vienna this past spring. A few of them are here tonight. And they've shared with us that they came back with a greater understanding of Jewish life and Jewish history, and that the experience profoundly impacted their teaching. We also deepened our relationship with Hillel of Buffalo to partner on the critical work being done right here at UB to ensure Jewish staff, faculty, safety, and success. And we navigated working with the media, which you're going to hear more about shortly. We offered on-air comments on the rise in anti-Semitism. We spoke out against anti-Israel rhetoric. We also organized media events, and we went into newsrooms, providing news professionals the chance to learn about Jewish Buffalo, anti-Semitism, and very importantly, what life is like for American Jewry post-October 7th. We toiled side by side with local, state, federal elected officials. Thank you to those who are here standing by our sides again tonight. We worked to secure funding and other forms of support to combat Jew hatred, and one of those efforts led to the stunning Righteous Among the Nations mural, which was unveiled at Roswell Park this past spring. It's part of Yom HaShoah. If you haven't had a chance to go and see it, please do. It's magnificent, and we're so grateful to our partnership with Roswell that really made this happen. We also convened Jewish professionals. We did our regular work. We supported partner agencies. We gathered small groups of Buffalo's Jewish leaders to plan and prepare as we were all trying to navigate uncharted waters. But all the while, we never lost focus on our commitment to create opportunities for joyful, accessible expressions of Judaism. 500 people attended last year's PJ Library Hanukkah party, and we're expecting it was wonderful. We're expecting a big crowd again this year because the party is going to be held at the Key Bank Center, thanks to a wonderful partnership with the Sabres Foundation. Ooh. And of course, we also shared our love, our fears, our fight, and our hope with our family in Israel. Over Yom HaZikaron, in partnership with the JCC, we brought 3 active IDF soldiers and officers to Buffalo. They gave us a window into their lives and their work. And then in June, Federation sent 12 senior leaders, including 2 amazing teens, to Israel on a solidarity mission, and you're going to hear more about that shortly. And then in July, we brought 2 lovely families from Nir Yitzhak, a moshav, like a kibbutz in the Gaza envelope. We brought them to Buffalo just for a month of respite, to relax and enjoy. But while they were here, they shared their stories with us. They talked about the horrors they experienced on October 7th, and they talked to us about the complexities of life in Israel since that day. In just 2 weeks, we will observe the 1-year anniversary of that dark day. To mark this moment, Buffalo will gather to mourn, embrace from afar the survivors and the families of the fallen. We will express our gratitude to communal partners and allies for their love and their solidarity. And we will pray and advocate for the 101 people who are still being held hostage by Hamas terrorists. In the last 11 months, I've talked to so many of you, and you've been made to feel unsafe, alone, afraid, and many of us have struggled to openly share our pride in being Jewish. It's been really hard, but beautiful things always emerge from times of great stress. There's been a surge of interest in Jewish life. We've forged wonderful new alliances. We have found our voices, and in all ways, we are rising to meet this moment together. Our professionals, our board, our volunteer leaders, agency partners, our donors, and each of you working together. Amid the challenges of the last year, we've found immense strength in one another and hope, and I think a recommitment to Federation's vision for a flourishing Jewish community. For some of us, every day this month, we've listened to the sound of the shofar. It's a piercing sound, and as you know, its purpose is to sort of call us, to wake us up from our slumber. And I think this year in particular, the shofar is waking us up to our tremendous potential as a community, and also our tremendous potential as individuals. And even though we still face critical long-term challenges, Today, I choose to turn a hopeful gaze towards 5783, and I hope you'll join me. I don't have time to go into every detail, but I love to talk about Jewish Buffalo and the Federation and the work we do. So I'm going to end my talk now by sharing 6 of the Federation's key priorities for the coming year. This is just a little window into the engine that drives our mission to build and sustain a flourishing Jewish community here in Buffalo. 1, community relations. No longer a standalone entity, community relations is the Buffalo Jewish Federation. We play an essential and indispensable role representing the entire Jewish community. And this year, we will develop a higher level of expertise and expand our capacity to be in more relationships with more of Buffalo's most influential civic, faith, and business leaders. Israel. Federation will be focused on 2 things: mobilizing networks to advocate and educate, as well as getting more Jews and civic partners to Israel, boots on the ground. We have 2 trips already planned for 2025. And long term, we're embarking on a new partnership relationship, and our goal is to really figure out how to build long-lasting, authentic relationships between Buffalonians and Israelis. Combating anti-Semitism, of course, security, of course. Our sustained approach in this space also includes a continued focus on K-12 educational spaces. It's really important. And thanks to the leadership of our Holocaust Education Resource Organization, we have a really cool new tool in our tool belts. In December, Buffalo will become home to a mobile museum of tolerance. It's a project of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and it's a bus. It's a living and traveling classroom that uses immersive technology to teach lessons about the Holocaust, civil rights, hatred, tolerance, and it will live in Buffalo for a year. And P.S., all of these wonderful superintendents we have relationships with are like vying for first dibs. There's a lot of text messages going back, like, when's the schedule coming out? We want to book the bus. It's really exciting. Leadership and engagement. We are stepping up our work. We need to identify and develop future Jewish leaders, like Marni Marciano, and our brand new Kolot Fellows, Alyssa Strang and Talia Fold. I hope you'll have a chance to learn more about the Kolot Fellowship soon. These amazing women will attend the Jewish Federations of North America's General Assembly in November, and they'll have an opportunity to see the power of our entire North American movement in action. Just so you know, long term, we're starting to think about ways to better prepare our children and our teens, not only to face the world, but to lead boldly and bravely through the lens of their Jewish values. Funding support, the Federation will continue to serve as the backbone of the community, convening, funding our partner entities, and sending critical dollars overseas to support our global Jewish family. And Jewish engagement and Jewish joy. We will stand up our sustaining engagement efforts like adult learning and PJ Library, in addition to 2 new projects, Midlife Engagement and Next Gen Jewish Buffalo. And we'll continue to design and deploy new Jewish learning and living opportunities as always as we do, with a focus on creating spaces for people who don't traditionally or don't always feel like they are part of the community. This is just a snapshot. But if you remember one thing from tonight, I hope it is that a strong Buffalo Jewish Federation is essential to a successful and safe and flourishing Jewish Buffalo. So on behalf of Margie Bryan and Mark Brown, Rob Goldberg, the entire Federation Board of Governors, our exceptional professional team, thank you. Thank you so much. To those of you who've been a part of this work for a lifetime, and that's many of you, working with us for a lifetime, we appreciate you so much. Stay the course with us, please. And to those of you who are newer to supporting or engaging with the Federation, we're so glad you're here. And you are an important part of our collective sacred work. Now, I'm done. Thanks for listening. Now, I think I saw her over there, my very dear friend, Brenda Feldstein, is going to come up and join me on the stage. And Brenda is going to present this year's Ruth and Milton Kahn Emerging Leadership Award.
That was an amazing speech. I'm speechless. So thank you, Miriam. Good evening, everyone. The Ruth and Milton Kahn Emerging Leadership Award was established in 1972 to recognize women in our community who demonstrate a commitment to the growth and sustainability of our Jewish community. Ruth Kahn Stavrov passed away in 2016 at the age of 104, staying active on local boards past her 100th birthday. Ruth was admired as a highly intelligent woman who offered much insight to decision-making. Over the course of her lifetime, she served on the boards of about 24 non-for-profit agencies in our community that sought social justice, fought poverty, drug use, and intolerance, and aided the Jewish community locally, nationally, and internationally. Ruth served as board president for 6 of those agencies: Olmsted Center for the Visually Impaired, Buffalo Jewish Federation, Child and Family Services, Community Action Organization, Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies, and Camp Lakeland. Between 1956 and 2006, Ruth received 29 awards from various organizations, including the United Way, Center for Hospice and Palliative Care, the Urban League, Buffalo Jewish Federation, the Food Bank, and the National Conference of Christians and Jews, today's NFJC. To date, 50 women have received this prestigious award, many of whom are in our audience. So I would like to call up all our past Ruth and Milton Kahn awardees to the stage to help me present this year's award. I think I'm gonna cry because this is really beautiful to see all these wonderful women coming here. It's beautiful. I'm so honored to be part of this incredible group of women. Tonight, we officially welcome Marni Marciano as the 51st Ruth and Milton Kahn Emerging Leadership Awardee. Marni's journey is a powerful statement to the dedication and impact in our community. Her commitment to Jewish values is deeply personal and profoundly impactful. When her son faced an anti-Semitic comment from a classmate, she was moved to act and help build and lead the Let's Talk About Anti-Semitism conference in 2023. A mere 6 months before Israel was viciously attacked, and incidents of anti-Semitism increased dramatically. She then spearheaded the Let's Talk About Israel conference this past April, giving our community a much-needed outlet and space to gather. As a volunteer, Marni has held several key positions at Link Jewish Buffalo, a program of the Buffalo Jewish Federation. She was the chair of PJ Library, vice chair of Link, and currently serves as Link's chair. Marni is also involved at Kehilat Or Tzion, where she served as chair of the Youth Education Committee. Professionally, Marni serves as the field access lead of Pfizer, where she helps families access crucial medications. Marni and her husband Armand, who is here, together with her twins Max and Sylvie, live in Williamsville. Marni's leadership is marked by kindness, tenacity, and the lessons she shares from her life experiences. Marni, can you please come on the stage and accept this year's Ruth and Milton Kahn Emerging Leadership Award?
Thank you so much, Brenda, and thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Buffalo Jewish Federation for the incredible honor of joining this amazing group of women. I'm in awe of all you've done for Jewish Buffalo and feel so privileged to follow in your footsteps. Truly, thank you. Volunteering with and for the Buffalo Jewish Federation has been such a pleasure. Thank you to Miriam, Margie, Rob, Mike, Robin, Zahava, Jill, Kirsty, Brenda, I'll stop there, all the Link volunteers, and many more. We are doing incredible work at such a pivotal time. It's truly an honor to partner with you as we ideate, problem solve, and execute over and over again to serve this amazing and special community. There's nothing more important for our future than instilling a love of Judaism in our children and helping them develop their Jewish pride, especially since October 7th. This has always been my motivation as we raise our twins, Max and Sylvie, and I'm so grateful to the Federation for also prioritizing this while we navigate these challenging times. To my parents, Mark and Barbara Rodman, all those years complaining about Hebrew school, who could have predicted I'd be an enthusiastic participant of all things Jewish Buffalo? Thank you for always making me feel proud to be Jewish. And Dad, thanks for all the Jewish humor along the way and for pointing out every single celebrity who's Jewish my entire life. To my amazing husband, Armand, who never, ever, ever thought he'd be living in Buffalo, New York. You've come to love this community, and I'm so grateful you trusted me about moving back. Thank you for bringing me closer to Judaism through your traditions, even though our last name doesn't even sound like we're Jewish. Lastly, with Rosh Hashanah upon us, I'll leave you with a challenge for this upcoming year. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. If you're not already involved, consider volunteering for one thing, one event, or one organization in the Jewish New Year ahead. I promise it's worth it. Thank you again. I'm so very touched to receive this honor, and I look forward to continuing this important work. A huge mazel tov to the incredible Miriam and Hadar as well. We are so lucky to have you both in Buffalo. Shana Tova, wishing you all health and peace, and go Bills.
Congratulations again, Marni, and on this well-deserved recognition, I would now like to call up Sharon Levite to present this year's Ann Holland Cohn Community Impact Award.
Good evening. I'm so happy to be here tonight to present this award. I thank Federation for inviting me to do it, and I'm very happy to be here to see all your wonderful faces and to participate in this wonderful event. I'm very impressed so far. Everybody's been terrific. Tonight I'm honored to present the Anne Holland Cohn Community Impact Award. Anne Cohn passed away in 2017. She was an extraordinary leader and a mentor to many, including myself. At the suggestion of some of her dear friends, including Andy and Amy Chevelle, the Federation created an award bearing her name. The award is given to an individual who leads boldly with their Jewish values and has made a significant impact in the greater Buffalo community. I was honored to accept the first Cohn Community Impact Award in 2017 on behalf of my late husband, Larry. He passed away earlier that year. And in the years since, this important, prestigious award has been presented to Deborah Goldman, Lana Benetovich, Dr. Gail Burstein, and Jim Biltikoff. I'm not sure who is here tonight, but I know Deborah Goldman is, and I congratulate her for her award. Anne was a dynamic volunteer for the Jewish community here in Buffalo. In 1970, she joined the board of the Rosa Copeland Old Folks Home and became its first female president. Through her work as an art instructor at the JCC, Anne identified the need for safe and subsidized senior housing, which led her to partner with Shirley Joseph and Donald Day, creating Jewish Federation Housing. It opened in 1979 on SJ Road in Amherst. And you heard Miriam talk about the fact that it's no longer the responsibility of Jewish community to man that building, and it's been purchased by someone else, and that is important to us here. Let's see. Anne went on to serve as president of the Buffalo Jewish Federation in 1984, and she was president of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies in 2000. In 1995, with $1 million bequest from her family and spurring other donations, Anne led a charge to keep the Delaware Avenue JCC open. In recognition of her leadership, the Holland family building was added to the JCC downtown in 1998. Anne was also a difference maker outside of the Jewish community, starting at the Buffalo Seminary and at the American Red Cross here in Buffalo. She was active with Hospice Buffalo, and starting in 1980, established an endowment fund that supported the Capital campaign to build the Hospice Mitchell campus in Cheektowaga, which is a wonderful thing. This evening, Buffalo Jewish Federation is honored to present the Anne Holland Cohn Community Impact Award to Hadar Borden. In addition to being the director of the University of Buffalo's Startup and Innovation Collaboratory, Hadar serves as the director of the Western New York Prosperity Fellowship Program, which is generously funded by the Prentice Family Foundation. This leadership development program seeks to recruit and retain entrepreneurial-minded students to contribute to economic development in Western New York. Previously, Hadar served 8 years as administrative director of UB's undergraduate academies, supporting collaborative, interdisciplinary living and its learning program community for undergraduates. She was formerly the assistant administrative director of the University Honors College, and before that, she was an assistant director in the Office of Admissions at UB. Outside of work, Hadar is currently a board member of the Amherst Industrial Development Agency. She has also served numerous other volunteer roles at places such as Explore Buffalo, the Toole Library, Buffalo Jewish Federation, Women on the Rise, Western New York, the Western New York Women's Foundation, the Erie County Commissioner on the Commission on the Status of Women, Temple Beth Zion, and Hillel of Buffalo, in addition to the Junior League of Buffalo. All of this is the wife of Dave Borden and the mother of 2 young men, Jonas and Elliot. Lastly, Andy and Amy Chevelle were not able to join us this evening to present this award, but they wanted to share this message, and I quote, "Hadar is one of those special leaders. She is not from Buffalo, but has wholly adopted Western New York and Jewish Buffalo as her home. Hadar's commitments to the university, the town of Amherst, and Jewish Buffalo all stem from her core beliefs of Tikkun Olam, and she lives it at work, at home, and every waking moment of her day. This commitment and the broad application of her leadership to multiple aspects of our community is what reminds us of Anne Holland Cohn. Anne was the same. Anne was interested in making Western New York the best it could be. We believe Hadar emulates this passion and its commitment and is a very worthy recipient of this award that we helped establish in Anne's memory. Mazel Tov, Hadar. Thank you for all you do to make Western New York and Jewish Buffalo the best that it can be." Unquote. Hadar, will you please come up and accept this year's Anne Holland Cohn Community Impact Award? Hadar. Hello. Hi, Hadar.
These are for you.
Oh, thank you.
Mazel tov. Happiest of birthday.
Yes, I'll just mention it. By the way, today is my birthday. I won't tell you what year, but September 24th will be remembered forever. Thank you. Thanks. Do you want me to stay? Yeah, I'll stay.
Please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sharon, and happiest of birthdays to you. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you and the incredible impact you've made on our community. I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Amy and Andy Chevelle for their long-standing friendship and for recognizing my contributions to our community. I'm deeply honored to receive the Anne Holland Cohn Community Impact Award. Although I never had the opportunity to meet Anne, I've been inspired by her legacy and her tremendous contributions to the Western New York community. I'm truly humbled by the recognition and hope to continue embodying the spirit of this award, carrying on Anne's work and encouraging others to do the same. When Dave and I made our Western New York our home, I knew that I wanted to get involved. My superpower, I believe, is in building connections between people, ideas, and initiatives. Over the years, I've come to realize that that it's the relationships we foster and the community that we create that make the region so special. Our engagement is the foundation that sustains us. To my students, I often share this advice as they embark on new journeys. Build community wherever you go, engage fully in that community, and embrace the yes and spirit, and always with a give first mentality. As you might imagine, my name is often a conversation starter, with people asking, "Where are you from?" Or, "What does your name mean?" These moments give me the opportunity to introduce others to the land of Israel and to Judaism. It opens minds and hearts, allowing me to show up fully as my authentic, proud, Israeli, and Jewish self. This has been a meaningful part of my journey, one that I embrace with gratitude for the pride my parents, David and Ruth Cohn, instilled in me. To my family, my husband, Dave, and our boys, Elliot and Jonas, thank you for understanding that my passion has always been and will always be serving our community. We all have something to give, whether it's our time, our talents, or our treasure. I encourage all of you to step up for our community and share your gifts. Say yes, and when opportunities arise. I've learned so much through these experiences and built cherished friendships along the way. A few years ago, I joined Musar for Moms, and it was one of the best decisions I've made. It gave me the space to listen, to learn, and grow alongside other moms, deepening my Jewish story. And one lesson that resonates with me tonight is the midah of loving kindness, chesed. If I'm only for myself, what am I? And if I'm not now, when? I invite all of you to practice this with me, committing to the growth and care of our vibrant Jewish community, always leading with our Jewish values. Finally, Mazel Tov, and congratulations to Marni and her family, to Miriam and her family. I am honored to share this evening with the both of you. I remember our first meeting, Marni, on Zoom during Link Leadership Committee, where we discussed how we might engage and impact our community. Let's continue that work and encourage others to join us. With deep gratitude, thank you all, and Am Israel Chai.
I'm back. Mazel tov to both Marni and Hadar. We now turn our attention to hear three unique stories of how the Buffalo Jewish community is making an impact in the lives in our community and beyond. Please join me first in welcoming Bonnie Clement.
Wow, I can't believe I have to follow all these great speakers. Anyhow, my name is Bonnie Clement, and I'm a past women's philanthropy chair. They're making me. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to hide. Anyhow, I've been a proud supporter of the Buffalo Jewish Federation since I moved here in 1978, screaming and yelling and never thinking that I would think this is my home forever. I'm so fortunate to be here. I've been very fortunate to travel to Israel 8 times with the Federation, and each visit has been transformational. However, nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for what I experienced in June when I traveled with 12 other community members on the Federation's first Israel Solidarity mission. We experienced gut-wrenching moments of sorrow and pain, like our visit to a kibbutz infiltrated by Hamas on October 7th. Our guide allowed us to bear witness to the destruction that occurred that day. She never shared her personal story until the end of the tour. She pointed out the exact spot that her husband was murdered. Sorry, She told us of the details of his valiant efforts that morning to try to defend her, their home, and their community. During every encounter throughout the country, we saw firsthand that despite the hardships, Israelis remained resilient and hopeful. During our visit with northern Israelis who had been displaced since October 7th, they continued to talk about their hopes for the future. What struck us the most was their sense of gratitude. All we heard was again and again, "Thank you for coming." I never heard that before. I mean, I used to go to Israel and I was grateful to come, but I never heard, "Thank you for coming." Thank you for being here. Thank you for not forgetting about us. While in Jerusalem, I purchased a matching Star of David necklace for my granddaughter Sammy and myself. Recently, while wearing it, she was approached by strangers that just came up to her and said, "We pray for peace in Israel." This gesture was to her, and I hope to you, a reminder to bravely share our values in words, in actions, or sometimes as simple as just wearing the Star of David necklace. We each have a vital role to play in strengthening our community here and supporting our family who's suffering in Israel. Sorry. When you consider your gift tonight, think about all the lives we can impact together. Let's stand together, be proud together, and support each other together. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. My name is Michael Schwartz. I'm a reporter at Channel 7 WKBW here in Buffalo. I've been a television journalist for 8 years, and most importantly, a Jewish person for 30 years. When October 7th happened, my heart shattered. In the days and weeks after, I was mad. I'd come home and slam my fists on my bed, infuriated that people who share my values, beliefs, and religion that I have so much pride in, families just like mine, could be ripped away from their innocent lives. You know, working in TV, there's no getting away from the imagery, as every newsroom has TVs showing every network 24/7. The headlines getting worse by the day. I remember reporting on local threats to the Jewish community with pain in my heart and a lump in my throat, as anti-Israel protesters from down the block honked at me as I was waiting to go live in front of the camera. But as always, my biggest responsibility as a journalist is to inform. So that's what I did and continue to do. Inform from an unbiased view. Bottom line from law enforcement all over Western New York: if you see something, say something. Then a few months later, I got an invitation in my inbox. I was invited to a Buffalo Jewish Federation media meet and greet, which is what I wish every organization would do. It was the Federation saying, "Hey, Jewish and non-Jewish local media members, we're here for you as a resource." From there, I invited Miriam and Jill to our studio. They came in, of course, brought breakfast, and sat with my colleagues and I to say, "Hey, we're here if you need us." They didn't push anything religious, but instead made everyone feel comfortable to ask questions. They did what Jewish people do best: welcome all in. Mishpucha, like family in Yiddish. My coworkers thanked me so much for organizing this, and in the months since, my coworkers have actually connected with Jill and Miriam to tell relevant Jewish stories with the help and connection of their new friends at the Buffalo Jewish Federation.
For the first time in the 120-year history of the Jewish Federation of Buffalo, a female has become the new CEO.
I am the first woman to lead the agency professionally.
In my industry, these relationships are crucial to learn more about one another and listen to each other. You know, the longer I work away from my Long Island hometown, it becomes more evident to me that there are people who grow up never meeting a Jewish person or even knowing basic Jewish knowledge. It's not always their fault. In some of the newsrooms where I've worked, I've reminded my coworkers about the holiest days like Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, when Hanukkah is, and why a Jewish event at a temple might be worth covering due to the impact it has on the entire community. But we're only 0.2% of this entire world's population. Let me remind you, 0.2% of the world's population. So there are newsrooms around the world who don't have that voice, that representation, that knowledge from a Jewish person pitching relevant Jewish stories. That's where our Jewish Federation comes in to do the most important thing we can do right now: educate. We live in a world where everyone has access to post, but just because you can tweet or go live on Instagram, post a Facebook video, doesn't make you a journalist. We've been trained years for this. Words matter, sourcing matters, and false claims only spew hate. In this world, there is nothing worse than hate. Hate is fueled by lack of understanding and lack of knowledge. Sadly, some people have been brought up to hate Jewish people. We've seen it in history. And for why? No reason, other than that they lack education. So tonight and always, I am so grateful to the Federation for stepping up and helping my industry do what we do best: educate, to help be better informers. Thank you, Buffalo Jewish Federation. Shana Tova.
Good evening. My name is Dasha Jacobi. I came to the United States in 2016 as a Russian foreign exchange student to experience American high school in Rochester, New York.
And my name is Wadey Jacobi. I grew up in Rochester as a Christian with parents whose heritage includes Lebanese, Italian, Greek Orthodox, Dutch, and Irish. Dasha and I met while she was on her foreign exchange program. After she returned to Russia to study at a university, she transferred to SUNY Geneseo, where our journey picked up.
Today we're married and live together in Buffalo. Wade is in his third year of med school at UB, and I'm a proud small business owner. My journey to embrace my Jewish heritage has been nothing short of life-changing. Growing up, my family's history was marked by pain and loss. During Soviet times, my great-great-grandfather was executed for being Jewish, a harrowing reminder of the persecutions we faced. In a world that sought to erase our identity, I was left with fragments of a culture I longed to understand, but never fully experienced.
I knew Dasha struggled to understand her full Jewish identity, and I wanted to be supportive. We both come from families where we're encouraged to explore and learn as much as possible.
For me, the path to reconnecting with Judaism began with researching the Buffalo Jewish Federation. I was seeking any thread of connection to my Jewish roots, which started with an inquiry to Hebrew learning classes and led us to the Refresh and Reset program.
Refresh and Reset was a new initiative offered by the Federation for young couples of mixed heritages. We were welcomed into a Jewish space for self-discovery, rejuvenation, deepening of relationships, and building community. The program used Shabbat as a compass to explore Jewish life and make meaningful connections with other couples.
This program became a sanctuary where Wade and I could explore Jewish rituals and traditions together, slowing down the world that often demands haste. We learned to cherish Shabbat by lighting candles and sharing special meals. These moments of reflection and pause have become integral to our lives, offering a perspective I never had growing up.
The friendships we've forged with other couples in the program have really enriched our lives. We continue to meet up, volunteer at PJ Library events, and grow together in the community.
I now feel a profound sense of pride and belonging in the Jewish community. The safe space provided by the Federation's Refresh and Reset program allowed me to experience Judaism without the fear of judgment for not being Jewish enough. It has given me the confidence to embrace my heritage fully and to build a stronger Jewish identity, even though I was often mocked for being Jewish as a child growing up in Russia.
We recently watched Fiddler on the Roof. I've seen it before, but it was Dasha's first time, and she was moved to tears as the story resonated deeply, reflecting the struggles and triumph of her own family's past.
My mother always hoped I would immerse myself in learning about our heritage. Living here has granted me the freedom to explore my Jewish identity openly. This experience has filled my neshama, soul, something I didn't realize wasn't full before.
We are so grateful to have this opportunity from the Federation. It has allowed us to grow as a couple and to immerse ourselves in this incredible community. Your generous support has given us something we never could have imagined.
And we can't wait to see where this journey takes us. Thank you.
I'm back. You know what that means? We're near the end. You made it. Bonnie, Michael, I think Michael's here with us, Dasha and Wadey. Thank you so much. We're so honored that you were willing to share your personal stories with us. You have to be really brave to stand up on a stage like this and be so vulnerable. So we appreciate you so much for doing that, and we're so lucky to have each of you as part of our community. The last 11 months have been a reminder that we're all a part of something bigger. We're a part of a global family, and we're in the middle of a story, one that goes back millennia and that will continue far beyond our time. But I would argue that our contributions to this story really matter. What we do here in Buffalo, it really matters. And your part in this story, it matters. You heard today about the collective power of the Federation, what Federation makes possible, and we couldn't do it without you and your generosity. So right now, it's time, I invite you to make your commitment to the 2025 campaign for Jewish Buffalo. My husband Sam and I have significantly increased our gift this year because we believe that the work of the Federation has never mattered more. And we invite you to do the same. I hope you'll consider joining us. So take out your pledge cards out of your pockets, it's time, or you can take out your phone and scan the QR code. We try to remind everyone of this every year. It is 2024, but we're asking you to make your pledge for 2025. It helps us plan. And while you're doing that, I hope you remember what Golda said. We cannot do this alone. The great things Jewish Buffalo will accomplish, we will only be able to accomplish together. Shana Tova, thank you, and go Bills.